Okay. Oh, let's see here. Oh, there we go. Finally. Should be live now. What? Okay. Cool. Hello. Sorry. Everything's a little scuffed right now. I tested my mic earlier, and I'm hoping it sounds pretty good, because the last video I uploaded, it sounded pretty awful. And I legitimately spent, like, many hours trying to fix it, and I just said, you know what? Okay, I just need to get the video out. But, I'm hoping this actually sounds okay. But, give me just a second here as I try to, fix some of my settings. One second. Sounded good? Okay, thank you, Viper Strike. That I appreciate that. You have no idea how that helps me a ton, honestly. Um, like, I don't know if you guys, or I guess it's just you, Viper Strike, at the moment, but if you listen to my previous videos, like the Jalen Smith video, and then you go and listen to the DeMar DeRozan video, my mic sounds very different, doesn't it? I don't know if you like listen to we're having more viewers in here now, but I was just like, I was really upset because the DeMar DeRozan videos just sounded so bad, but like I couldn't do anything about it. Like I legitimately, I went into OBS, I changed like 5 different settings, and it just suddenly, it sounded like I was peaking audio like constantly, and I like turned my mic volume like literally all the way down. And I restarted the computer and everything, and so I don't know what it was. But then I did a test recording today, and I sounded better. Like I sounded like it was normal again, and so I've been just like kind of just screwing around with the settings a little bit just to kind of see. Oh, I hit my mic. Sorry. Just to kind of see what maybe the problem was, but it looks like we're doing all right now. So I'm glad to see that. Hope you guys are all doing well. Sounding like you're peaking a little. Okay, so I am sounding like I'm peaking a little. See, I don't know why. I like, because I had it like perfect before, like in the Jalen Smith video, like I wasn't ever peaking, but now it's like it's back to peaking, and I didn't do anything different, you know. So it's just kind of just like a scuff stream as we kind of talk. I just want to talk a little bit about the game that just went on, because I actually wasn't planning on streaming, but after some of the performances that we saw today, I was like, you know what, I might as well just stream it. Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm gonna hide my screen and open up my settings in my Windows. Also, I'm not going to be playing too much music just because it is like a scuffed little stream here, but give me just a second and stick with me, Viper Strike. I'm going to need your help here. Hold on. Sorry, give me just a second. I apologize. Sound. Okay. All right, Viper Strike. Tell me now. Do I still sound like I'm peaking when I talk like right now? Yeah, I enjoy the wins now that we have them. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah. Because during the regular season it'll be all losses. I'm expecting it to be all losses. Crackle's gone. Okay, thank you. All right, good to know. I don't know what happened. Like I wonder if like Windows just kind of like glitched and suddenly is like, oh well, suddenly we think that your mic is very loud even though you didn't touch the setting. So I just turned it down like 20%. So Crackle's gone. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Viper Strike. I wish I could pay you something right now, but I can't. I would actually pay you if I could, but I can't. But I appreciate this. That helps a ton, actually. All right, switching back over to main. All right, I'm also I'm getting used to the new I'm getting used to the new UI for YouTube streaming. It's a little bit different now, so you know, just kind of testing things out as I will be streaming a ton during the season, and obviously it's not the season yet, so get the struggles out of the way early. But Welcome in everybody. I know it's all scuffed and everything, but I appreciate you hanging in with me. But I was not planning on streaming today. I was kind of just thinking, hey, I'm gonna let kind of the first game happen because I thought the some of the key players for the Bulls today were gonna kind of struggle, because it is the first game of summer league and that's what typically happens. But I actually thought a lot of the key players did really well today, and I wanted to just kind of go ahead and just talk about it immediately, because it's fresh on our minds, and just kind of just explain what I thought looked really good. And this is just gonna be really short as I do have a little thing coming up in like a couple, or not a couple minutes. Let's see, what time is it actually? Yeah, so I have about like half an hour with you guys here. So yeah, I thought it's a good time just to kind of talk about this now, because I there's gonna be a bad summer league game and we're not gonna want to talk about it. So it's good just to talk about the good summer league game that just happened. But Buzelis did a really good job today. I was mostly impressed with Julian Phillips and Adama Sanogo. These are the two guys that I was really paying attention to today, and I thought they did a really good job. And obviously both of them had double-doubles. And then the other guy that was extremely impressive to me today was Javonte Smart. He hit some threes and has a very smooth-looking jump shot. So we'll see maybe if the Bulls decide to keep Javonte Smart on like a two-way contract or something, or maybe gets an invite to training camp. But I was really happy. I was happy to see that some of the main players for the Bulls were coming out in the first summer league game, and they didn't look too nervous, or they didn't look the adrenaline is like pumping too hard, and they looked like they just played their game. So I was really happy to see it. A lot of free throws today. I don't know what the officials were on today, but a lot of free throws. And I'm happy that Buzelis, Phillips, and Sanogo all got to the free throw line a ton. But we got to work on some of these shots, man. We can't be missing, we can't be shooting 60% from the free throw line. So that's just got to get a little bit better, honestly. And if that continues, then great. If Buzelis is going to come in and be a free throw line merchant, that's very good. That's something the Bulls desperately need, especially now that DeRozan's gone. So if that's the case, then I'll be all for this. I'll be very happy if Buzelis comes in and is going to be a free throw merchant. I don't think this will continue, as he got some lucky whistles, and a lot of it was in the first half when the officials were calling everything. But it's good to see, though, that he continues just to get to the basket aggressively, and he did his job. He did a pretty good job today. I'm aware of the shooting percentage. I'm not that concerned about it, honestly. The biggest thing I took away from this game was, well, at least we know that Buzelis is not going to be a catch and think guy. If you've been on this channel, you know my whole issue with the catch and think people, the Patrick Williamses of the world, the Ayo Dosunmu, less last year for Ayo, but definitely year 2 Ayo was a catch and thinker, where you catch the ball at the 3-point line and you're open, but you don't shoot it, and you don't drive hard to the rim immediately. You just hold on to it for a second. Buzelis is the anti-Patrick Williams in the sense that he wants the ball constantly, and he will shoot the ball whenever possible, which is very good to see. I'd much rather have a player that shoots way too much at the beginning of his career rather than have a player that doesn't shoot enough, and then we have to try to get him to shoot more. So I was pretty happy to see that from Buzelis, and I'm aware the shooting percentage does not look good today. He didn't make a three. His 3-point shots did not look good, but I'm just happy that he's aggressive. Like that's honestly all I really care about. And he didn't look too phased from his first summer league game. And this is a some pictures by Steph No. If it was him kind of saying, "Hey, look at Buzelis. He just wants the ball constantly. He's just raising his hand. He's like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me." Which I love that. I love to see that. So he kind of played this way a lot in the G League too, and it's translated already to his first summer league game. So we'll see if this continues into the actual roster. But I'm just happy to see it. I'd much rather just have a player that is over aggressive and we can try to tone down the shot selection, rather than have a player that doesn't take enough shots and we try to get him to shoot more because it's not in his nature. So that's honestly what I take from Buzelis today. And obviously the free throw shots, which is just him being aggressive constantly. But the two guys that I really want to focus in on is with Phillips and Sanogo. These guys I thought played extremely well, and they were not high maintenance whatsoever. It looked like Sanogo was moving very well, much better than he was his rookie year last year. He looked a lot more fluid with his feet, and he was doing the switching on the defensive end where he's switching out onto guards, and that's something that we didn't see last year out of Sanogo. So if Sanogo can legitimately turn into a player where you can switch everything on defense, then he has a future in this league. I don't know when it's going to come, but if he's able to do that, that's extremely impressive for a dude that at his size. And he's obviously a little bit, he's a little bit short for a center, but a 6'9" switchable center is something that is very useful in today's world. So I'm all for it, and if he keeps that up, that would be awesome to see. And he will be in the G League a lot this year, so we'll get a good amount of time to watch him get some playing time. But Julian Phillips, man, Phillips was kind of the guy that I was like really honing in on. And it's kind of similar to what I did to like Dalen Terry last year, because I went to the summer league last year and I was like zeroed in on Dalen Terry. I was like, okay, we need to make sure Dalen Terry is getting his stuff down. And his first game, he just did not look right whatsoever. And he was playing like point guard his first game, but then his second game he moved to shooting guard. It looked like a little bit better. But Julian Phillips, it looked like he just looked so comfortable out there. The first half, or especially the first quarter, it looked like he wasn't really getting the ball, which I was a little bit. Okay. Am I back? Sorry. I truly apologize about that. That's extremely frustrating. My frames dropped like to 0. So, I think I'm back now. Let me know if I'm back. I'm back. Okay, thank you, Taro. I appreciate it a ton. Yeah, I'm so sorry. My frames just dropped just completely. It went to 0. That was very frustrating. But it looks like I'm back now. So I really appreciate you guys coming into the stream. Short stream. Just wanted to kind of talk about the positives today. I did not expect the Bulls to do main players that we're focusing on for this summer league to do so well. So, because they did so well, I wanted to go ahead and talk about it while we have the positive thoughts in our head. So, I'm glad that the main guys did a really good job today, and I'm happy to report back on them that they really did good. So, I was in the middle of talking about Julian Phillips, and I was just kind of explaining how he had like a low maintenance day where he didn't take a ton of shots. He barely got the ball, but he still got, a 17 points and he got 10 rebounds and, multiple offensive rebounds too. Just very active for Julian Phillips. And the biggest things that we saw today that we can go ahead and take away from in this game is stuff that I've been saying that for Phillips, he has to work on it for like the next couple of years for him. And I think we just saw progress, in today's game. When it comes to Summer League, like I'm not like, I don't necessarily look too hard on like, oh, well, how was the box score numbers and stuff. I kind of just look at like areas where I know that they've struggled like in previous years, or for Buzelis, it's like struggled in his previous wherever he's previously played, and I kind of like look into it and be like, okay, what did they do here? And I honestly think that they did that for Phillips. He showed specifically that he has worked on the 2 areas of improvement that he needs to improve in the next couple of seasons. One is finishing at the rim. There was some moments today where he, kind of missed, a layup or 2 that he probably should have finished. But then he had those strong finishes later in the game, and then having the confidence to shoot the catch and shoot 3 with like no hesitation and get it off quickly. He did that today, and he obviously made one, which is huge. I know a lot of people, like, I'm seeing a lot of this on Bulls Twitter suddenly because of the whole Dalen Terry stuff, where it's like Summer League means nothing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't personally take it that way. Like, I think Summer League, like, yes, the results of Summer League don't really matter in a sense. But what I do look for is, has a player improved in a certain area that might not show up in the box score, right? Has a player's, just for example, does their body look better? Are they moving better? That type of stuff I do take into consideration, because the Summer League is a much different game than college, right? It is much quicker. It is at like NBA tempo. It is definitely more hectic as well, which, I understand that. But I think it truly is a good look into, can someone play at like an NBA level pace, and this is why like I do take into consideration what happens in summer league. Again, I'm not saying that like I'm putting all stocks into summer league, because Denzel Valentine obviously was a big shower that, hey, yeah, I can have really good success in summer league and then not turn into a good player. But even in Denzel Valentine's summer league, you can kind of tell that there were some issues that he was going to have in his NBA career. Like, yes, he had he had the game winner. He made some nice shots in summer league, but at the same time, I was also very aware that he was not going to be able to blow by guys in his NBA career, and that became true in his time in the NBA. So, again, it's not all about results, obviously. I'm just kind of looking at certain things that I truly take into consideration, that I think it's important to kind of talk about still, even if it is just Summer League at the end of the day. What's going on, Patrick? I feel like that JP was playing today looked a cut above athletically and confidence wise, in my opinion. Oh, for sure, yeah. I think Phillips was he had a much better understanding of where to fill his space on the floor, which I'm very happy about. Bulls got to realize for the next few years that the score at the end of the game is going to be meaningless. It's all about growth even beyond Summer League. Oh yeah, definitely. I hope Bulls fans do understand that, because like, especially if a guy for like Buzelis, I don't think the box score is really going to tell everything in terms of his development. And yeah, we as Bulls fans, like our development is gonna have like our development, hit or milestone. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic again. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your ears. Our development like check marks that we're gonna have for these players, like you said, Viper, it has nothing to do with the score at the end of the game. It's gonna be as we watch these players, how like what are some milestones that we give them, and are they hitting them, right? For example, like Io DeSumo last year, I think that we can kind of, firmly believe in that. Well, Io really worked, like he did a good job improving last year. And yes, the box score like tells that, but at the same time, we can just straight up be like, well, just look at how he's moving. Like, look at how confident Io looks compared to his year 2 Io, where it seemed like he didn't really know necessarily what to do with the basketball. And that's what I take in consideration. Like, this stuff matters. And I think the one thing that we can all probably agree on is that we can see if confidence is in a player or not, right? Like, we can all see if a player is confident on the floor. That's something that we don't have to look into the box score to look at, and we can get a firmly good grasp if a player is confident or not. And I hope that we, as we watch players develop moving forward, like, we're going to get a good understanding if a player is confident or not. So, yeah. Hopefully, this P-Will injury won't have serious complications. Bulls can't catch a break. Oh, yeah. So that is also something that did happen today. Hold on, let me bring my Twitter over here. So Casey Johnson did report that Patrick Williams is going to be. He talked to Patrick Williams, and that P-Will says that he has no pain in his bones or anything, and he says that he's fully healed. And he said for sure when he'll be ready for training camp. So I'm very happy to say that looks like that's going to happen. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. But I do hope he is ready for training camp, because if he isn't, then man, oh man. The Bulls just paid this dude a bunch of money, and he's not ready for training camp. Like, he better be ready for training camp, as you said, Taro. But I mean, this is the first positive update for P-Will in a long time, and it's also a definitive update, right? We haven't gotten this from AK from anybody, honestly, and even Billy Donovan, who was on the broadcast today, like he didn't really give an answer about P-Will, but this is like the first definitive update we got about him, and hey, that's good to see. Billy talked up Zoe without being prompted to be probably ready for next year. Yeah, so Billy did talk about Lonzo, and like he was kind of talking about how Giddey and Lonzo kind of can push the ball up the floor and stuff. It does sound like Billy has some confidence in Lonzo for being ready next season. I'm just personally just gonna say that I don't have confidence still. And even if Lonzo does come ready to training camp and is playing in every single preseason game, I'm not going to have confidence in his legs throughout the entire year, even if he continues to play throughout the entire year, which I don't think he will. But if he is able to play, that's fantastic. But I'm shocked at how much confidence Billy has, but maybe it's also just him kind of having false hope. But we'll see what happens with it all. Okay, hold on. You guys are gonna hear a noise because I do want to pull up the game. As usual, I do record every game, and we get to go ahead and talk about it as I bring this up on the screen. Okay, good. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you guys, which I was really happy about, as I go and search through the stuff that we just watched. So let's talk about this here. In this little segment here from Buzelis that is in the middle of the third quarter, that I can firmly say that I'm happy with how Buzelis looked in these sort of scenarios. So, whoops. Okay, 509. Okay, we need to go back just a tad. So this is an area where I do think that Buzelis could have some sort of success early on in his career. Again, we'll see how this actually goes for him, but it is something that I am looking into as I kind of point out early on. Okay, hold on. We might have to go to just 480, and I do apologize. But when I was watching clips of him for my video that I made on him, but this is kind of areas that I was hey, where can Buzelis kind of get some sort of good, success early in his career and not, have to worry too much on how can he generate his own offense. Hold on. I'm gonna pop out chat. Will you catch some Team USA basketball games? I will be, yes. I watched the first game against Canada. They did not look great. But I'm sure they'll be playing better after that. But yeah, I think needs to improve with them. For P. Will, if you're talking about, I'm guessing that's about P. Will. Yes, I think that with P. Will, he needs to have an improvement year for sure. I don't know what that entails, honestly, but he needs to improve this season. Even if Zach LaVine is back, which there's a good chance that is the case, he needs to improve. Just straight up, he needs to do better as a player. But it's a big year, and I mean, from that tweet, it sounded like he's gonna be ready for training camp, and if that's the case, then great. But like we talked about, he just got a contract, so he needs to figure it out quickly. So yeah, sorry, hold on, I want to bring you guys back up here. Okay. So here's what I wanted to show you guys in terms of Buzelis. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Epic Pen. These little pin down actions is kind of where I think Buzelis can have some success early on in his career. This is the type of stuff that I think that he can have some good success early. And I was happy to see this, that the Bulls kind of recognized it early on. Okay, let's not put so much emphasis on Buzelis to try to work with the basketball and try to have him, come up, initiate the offense, run his own screen and rolls, etc. So you just basically run him off pin downs. And so when Buzelis catches the ball, here, right, out coming off the pin down, he has a live dribble that he can use, and he can just make quick decisions with the basketball. And I'm hoping this is stuff that the Bulls work with him moving forward, right? This is the type of stuff that I'm this is how Buzelis can have early success. So double pin down, right? He catches the ball here, and does a little fake handoff to Stewart here as Stewart goes this way, and Buzelis goes this way. This is how you can just have Buzelis just make easy, quick decisions with the basketball, and because he's so athletic, here you go, right? I'm happy about it. I'm truly happy about these sort of plays that the Bulls were running for him early on in the game. Early on in the second half, I should say. Hold on, I'm seeing more chats. Do you think the Bulls would be looking to keep Lonzo if he is healthy? No. If Lonzo Ball is healthy, they are 1,000,000% trading Lonzo Ball. Suddenly now Lonzo is a player that you can probably get value back for if he's healthy. It's not going to be a lot because he's on the last year of his contract, but if if Lonzo is healthy, they are for sure moving on from him. I think that they understand that even if for somehow he is healthy this season, they can't necessarily trust him moving forward. But not only that, he does not fit the timeline necessarily. I'm aware he's not, in his 30s, but the years for Lonzo Ball have suddenly flown by. He came to the Bulls when he was, what, 24, right? Well, he's now what? What is Lonzo Ball? How old is he now? But it's flown by with him. He's 28 now? 26, soon to be 27? I mean, you're looking at a guy that you can't necessarily call young in a sense anymore. So, if he's healthy and teams are willing to give up something for him, then teams will absolutely want him. If he's actually healthy and contributing. I think that he'd just be looking to go somewhere else just to have just some more immediate success, because the Bulls, I don't think we're going to have much immediate success in the upcoming years, personally. So, yeah, I think Lonzo will be moved if he is healthy, which would be a shocker to me if that is actually the case. I'm not saying as though it's healthy, we can trade him right away. They should do that even if it's for pennies. Yeah, if you can get anything for Lonzo Ball now, you do it. But there's no teams are gonna be, giving up anything for Lonzo Ball at the moment. Like, why would they take on $20 million right now for a player that's probably not gonna play? The only way I can see that a team's gonna be willing to give up something is if they're trying to get rid of a contract that is far down the road, which again the Bulls are not in a position to really take on right now. So, yeah, I don't personally see it. I agree, like Viper's Strike, like that'd be a great idea if someone could take Lonzo's money, but it's not gonna happen at the moment. So, yeah. All right, let's talk about this again. So, keep an eye on Buzelis. Again, this is just kind of stuff that I'm like, hey, this is cool. I'm hoping that we can see more of this. When it comes to, or actually, did he not do it this time? Oh, this is him. Okay, we're moving on to the next possession. Sorry, he didn't do it this possession. So we're gonna move on to the next possession. Did he also not do it this possession? No. Okay, yeah. So they're running the same play for Buzelis in this possession here. Okay, so here comes the double pin down again. I like this a lot. Again, you're just coming down here and just having Buzelis come up here. And I think on this possession, he just takes the three. This gets blocked, or he just straight up misses it. But again, I like it. I think this is just easy, makes it much more simpler for Buzelis, and takes advantage of potentially, areas that he can already just have immediate success with. So next play, see, we moved ahead another 20 or another 15 seconds, and it's the exact same play. So we're just going to continue running this. And this time for Buzelis, he decides, okay, I didn't take the immediate three. I'm going to dribble to the basket. And he does a good job of taking both defenders with him on this little fake here. So now that both defenders are locked onto him, you have now Sanogo over here who's going to be wide open. And this was Buzelis' first assist of the game. He does a good job of just giving it up to Sanogo. With Buzelis' length, with obviously his height, this is something that he could take advantage of, right? He can shoot pretty much over anybody at any given moment, but he can also probably see pretty well for a guy playing the forward position. So if he can use his height, like in these sort of situations where he has a live dribble and is able to get in deep, he can probably use his height to find some open players, just like he did with this play. So I'm happy to just see this. This is really good to see. For Buzelis, and again, just continue doing this. If this is the case for Buzelis' first year in the league with the Bulls, I have no complaints. I won't have any complaints whatsoever. I will again mention one more time in my video that I made about Buzelis when we first initially drafted him. So it's like my initial reaction to the Bulls drafting Buzelis. My main concern with him is that he's going to become a player that is a jack of all trades type player, but he doesn't necessarily turn into anything. Like he can just do a little bit of everything. He can, he can dribble the basketball a little bit. He can score a little bit. He can kind of shoot the three. He's an okay passer. His handling's, all right, but he doesn't necessarily excel at one thing. But for the Bulls, right, you're not necessarily looking for him to excel at any one thing in his rookie season. You just want to see him be acclimated to the NBA, style, which he should be pretty already acclimated due to his G League experience. But having set plays like this for him, where he understands what the play is, he doesn't have to react off of what other players are doing, is really good. So continue doing stuff like this. I don't know what else the Bulls can maybe kind of cook up on the fly here, where you just can have Buzelis in these little sets that give him some confidence. But doing stuff like this is just going to only help him in his rookie season, and the Bulls should be definitely taking the time to kind of have some little set plays for him to just get some make some easy, quick decisions. And it doesn't necessarily need to have him, scoring the ball. Just make plays with the basketball in areas of the floor that he's comfortable with. And I think we can firmly already tell that he is pretty comfortable with the basketball and wants to just shoot it anytime he can. So, yeah, not much to really say after that. Sorry, I'm being texted. Give me 1 second. All right. I also wanted to show you one more thing when it comes to Buzelis, and then I want to move on to Julian Phillips in just a second here. Um, hmm. Was it this play? It might have been this play. So we're gonna go back early into the game here. So just saying, I'm not what I'm about to say here about Buzelis. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I don't have any faith in him moving forward. This is not what I'm trying to say. I'm just pointing out some things about him that I've already noticed, and it was already in my video. Or I guess I didn't necessarily say it in my video, but in my breakdown video, but I said it in my initial reaction video, where I was pretty adamant that Buzelis needs to pretty much kind of be a like the power forward player and not the small forward. So is it this play? So watch this, okay? Let's just watch this play. I think this is Andre Jackson, if I remember correctly. But you see that this is like a simple screen and roll coming up here, and I'm not necessarily criticizing Buzelis on this play specifically, but your help's here, and you let the guy get this way, which, I'm not going to talk too much about that. But the part that I'm concerned about when it comes to Buzelis, and I've been pretty adamant on this, is that I don't think his on-ball defense is as good as his help defense. Like, I truly think that his main attribute right now on the defensive end, like the thing that I know that he can excel at or have a chance to excel at, is going to be his help defense. His on-ball defense, I'm just a little bit concerned about because he has like a high center of gravity. You can kind of tell as he dribbles the ball that like he kind of like leans forward a lot. And it almost looks like he's trying to like catch himself from like falling over in a sense, which, as he fills out, it'll probably get better. But he does have a high center of gravity. So if he's going to be guarding guys on the perimeter that have the ability to, shift quickly, I don't think he's going to have a good time trying to guard those types of guys. And I'm not necessarily concerned about what I saw there. I'm more concerned about this, that you're seeing here that he's like, oh, okay, so this guy went out and now I have to rotate out to here. You're basically taking Buzelis out of where he excels, right? If you're asking Buzelis to rotate around on the perimeter a ton and have him chasing guys off the 3-point line, he's not able to use his best strengths, right? That's not what he's able to do if you're having him in those positions. So I'm just like pointing this out now. I've been just, again, this is not criticism of him whatsoever or saying that I don't think he's going to have any success. I'm just pointing out a weakness that I've noticed and why I've been pretty adamant that he needs to be the power forward, because I don't want him guarding guys on the perimeter in a sense. I want him being in the position to block shots at any point. And I think we even saw it today where when you can point out to some possessions, and I think it was even when Julian Phillips made the dunk, where Buzelis looked really good in the help position. So let's go to 150 in the second quarter here. Like, this is where I think we're going to see Buzelis have his most impact. This is why I've been saying that he needs to be the help defender and not necessarily the main perimeter defender. And maybe in due time, he'll be a good perimeter defender as well. But that's just not where I think his strength is at the moment. So let's just watch this play. Like, right here, he's being put into the pick and roll. So he right now is like the big man in a sense in the pick and roll situation. He's not guarding the ball. He's sticking onto his man here, and just watch as he just tracks the ball. Like this is his strength, right? He's able to then switch onto this player, okay, and have him and as I switched the highlight. So this player is able to just drive, right? But he switches onto a smaller player, and the drive blocks a shot. This is where he is at his best. Okay, like that right there is the reason why I'm excited about his help defense, because that's tough. Like that's not an easy block shot to get. Like that's a very impressive shot block right there, because he has to track the guy who is quicker than him, go to the basket. You then have to make sure that he doesn't get an easier, look off of him. He's then able to track the ball and straight up just swat it out for a guy that again is quicker than him. That's where his length comes in. That's where his his verticality comes in. But it's also just his defensive instincts that I've been really really impressed with already on in terms of his help defense and rotation. So this right here is what I'm excited for when it comes to Buzelis, and why I had some people comment in my initial video with Buzelis that I think that he might have some success in the future at the 5 position. That's not me saying that he should be the starting 5. That's not me saying he should be playing most of the minutes at the 5. I'm just saying that I could see a lineup where he is the center. If the Bulls decide to go small or something, and I got called a clown by some people in my comments for saying such a thing, but this is why. Like, this is the reason why I think that there is a chance that he could be really good at the center position for just moments or spurts. He obviously has to put on a lot of weight. He's very skinny for a center at the moment, so don't play him at center his rookie year, fine. But if he does add some weight and he's able to block shots like this, like, you're looking at a serious rim protector, in my opinion, who is also athletic enough to stay in front of guys on potential switches. Like, that's what I'm mostly looking forward to with Buzelis. So just want to point these little things out, and I'm sure you can agree. You have every right to disagree with me. If you completely disagree with me, that's totally fine. But I personally, this is where I'm excited when it comes to Buzelis. At the end of the day. All right, give me 1 second, as I need to go talk to somebody for just a second, and then when I come back here, I'm gonna be talking about Julian Phillips, because there's, I think, some good success in this game for Julian Phillips as well that I do want to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it in the third quarter. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Give me just 1 second. 1 second. Okay, sorry. I'm back now. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. I'm gonna pray that the internet doesn't go down like it did earlier. But so far we've been good. So thumbs up if you can hear me and things sound loud and clear. Um, and please, if at any point the stream freezes or something, like let me know in the chat immediately. I'll that truly does help a ton. If you could do that. All right. Let's see what's going on, Rob. The timetable for people after surgery was 4 months, which was late June, early July, and he's on track. Okay, that's good to know. I am always like concerned when at any point when it comes to timetables, because as we've seen with Lonzo, that timetables don't necessarily mean anything. Um, but that's good to know that he's like, at least for his surgery with P. Will, that he's on track. Um, I guess my main concern is that like it seems like he's rehabbing this off season, so he doesn't have an off season to really kind of improve himself. So first things first is just make sure that he's healthy come into training camp next season. So I'm not trying to like expect too much from him in a sense. But yeah, I'm hoping that he's able to come back and just be himself and then improve throughout the year, because DeRozan's gone now, and the P. Will stands have all said that DeRozan halted his development, which I completely disagree with. But if that's the case, then all right, you got to show it to me. You got to show me that that was actually true, and that DeRozan did stunt his development, and he's got to show me something. Like, even if Levine is here next season, you gotta show me that you've improved. And to me, the biggest thing is that I just need him to shoot more threes. Like, I don't care necessarily of what he averages. He just, for a 40% 3-point shooter, he just needs to shoot more threes. If he does that, I'm not gonna have any complaints. But he continues to not shoot enough, in my opinion. So yeah. All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. I want to say thank you guys for coming in for this little post game stream. I do have a few more minutes. I can go ahead and chat with you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to talk about Julian Phillips in just a second here. But yeah, this has kind of been fun. This is like a fun little summer league post game. I might do it also tomorrow. The Bulls do play tomorrow, but they play at 9 p.m. Central Time. So I understand if you don't want to tune in to a 11:30 post game stream. But yeah, we'll see if I do it tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming also tomorrow, because that was the plan initially, was just to stream tomorrow. But the Bulls key players in the summer league team, they did pretty well. So I wanted to go ahead and just be like, all right, you know what? Let's just talk about the good stuff now, because the good stuff happened now. And the Bulls key players could be absolutely dreadful tomorrow, and no one's gonna want to talk about it. So yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So if you are still here, if you hit the like button on the stream, helps me out a ton. You have no idea how much it means to me to see you guys being so good in the chat and supporting the community. It means a ton. And thank you guys a lot for the support on the recent videos. Just thank you to my community. It's been a lot of fun so far this off season with you guys. So hit the like button if you haven't already. It means a ton to me. Yeah. All right. I want to quickly talk about Julian Phillips here, as I do have to go catch up on some other stuff with some other people. But for Julian Phillips, let's talk about what I was really impressed with when it came to Phillips today. So Phillips got to the free throw line. He shot 9 free throws, a ton, which is just straight up a ton. That's insane amount of free throws for Julian Phillips. But biggest thing for me when it came to Phillips was the two areas of improvement for him that I talked about earlier, right? One is the ability to finish at the rim. Because with Phillips, the one thing that we talked about a lot on this channel is that he can get to the rim with ease. Like, his athleticism, with his with just his pure, strides as a player, like, he covers a lot of ground with just his steps. He's gonna get to the rim. But because he is so young and he's so thin, he's not able to finish in traffic that well yet. So he just needs to continue working on his core strength, and if he does that, then I think he'll be a very good finisher at the rim. Whenever that will be, right? Which I said it was like, it's just, that's in a couple of years. I don't expect it to be, a great finisher next season for his sophomore year. But what we saw at the end here at in the end of the third quarter was very, very good for Julian Phillips. That's still 2 minutes left on it. Where are we at for Phillips? 147. Okay, we gotta go back one more. So let's watch this play. So Phillips brings the ball up the floor here, and he does a pick and roll, and this is where I've always been concerned, where he's like, he gets into this area where he's like, oh, I can go all the way to the basket, but I know he can get to the basket, right? But what's the next step? What, like, can you get to the basket and then actually finish at the rim? This right here impressed me, okay? This isn't like the biggest shot blocker. I think this is Livingston, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this isn't like a shot blocker in a sense, but he still was challenged. Like, Julian Phillips was challenged at this spot right here. And he had the body control and the core strength to stay up higher than the shot blocker or the help defender in this sense and float it in. That was extremely impressive in my opinion. I was thoroughly impressed with Julian Phillips when he made this shot. This shows to me improvement. And so for the people that say like, oh, Summer League means nothing, this to me means something. Like that play right there to me shows improvement. Like I also said this like in preseason, like that right here shows me that you've been working on your game. Like you truly have been working on getting stronger and understanding how to actually finish over players. Like that to me shows improvement. Sure, there are going to be, layups where it doesn't show anything. You just made an easy layup. But that right here was a very solid sign from Julian Phillips. And I'm happy that's what happened. So I'm happy to see this. Then come down on another play where it's at the end of the quarter here. With Phillips, we've talked a lot about his jump shot already on this channel, but when it comes to Phillips and his jump shot, I'm not necessarily too concerned about his shot or how quickly he gets it off. It's just about his base. We talked about a lot on this channel when I first saw Phillips was his feet were so wide. And so right here, first off, I'm happy that he's aware that he's open. He's calling for the ball, because if this was some other players on this Bulls roster, they don't call for the ball, right? I think you know who I'm talking about. But I'm happy that he's calling for the ball. He's like, hey, I'm open, okay? And so the pass gets there a little bit late because now his defender's here, but Phillips is still ready to shoot the ball. And he just straight up just releases it quickly and gets it off and knocks this down. This is good. Again, this is solid progress in my opinion. But also take note of this, when he did go ahead and shoot this wasn't as wide of a base that he had earlier. I know Peter Patton has worked a ton on Phillips already, the Bulls shooting coach, but right here, and I know his leg is sort of cut off, but I don't think that his leg is, all the way out here, right? Which is sometimes we've seen Phillips do that with his base. This seems to me like a very quick, reposition into just a solid base form, and he's able to get the shot off quick, right? That's very good, because we've seen times where his base looks like where he initially catches the ball and before he rises up, like his knees are like bending in, and that didn't happen this time. And this is just him getting the shot off quickly as the defender's closing out onto him. Solid progress. So, like I said, Summer League isn't all about the box score. It isn't all about what the score at the end of the game is, like how Viper Strike said. It's not about what the score is at the end of the game. But I'm not a person that's like, oh, Summer League means nothing. Like this to me, that what I'm showing you right here to me means something. It's not a lot. It just shows to me that these players are actually working on themselves. And you're seeing the improvement before our very own eyes. It's not saying that, oh, like these players are suddenly, turning into like a next superstar or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm seeing these guys, that the work that they're putting in is showing up here on the court now. I'm sure a lot of players do work hard. Like I'm sure there's a ton of players that do truly work hard on their craft. And I'm not here to say like, oh, there's certain players that don't work hard. But it's one thing to work hard, but then to actually see the results in a professional setting is a good thing. And yes, all this could not may not translate into next season, where we actually see both Buzelis and Phillips and what I've talked about, where it doesn't necessarily turn into anything, for what we're seeing in summer league, that's fine. But it at least shows me that, hey, this is what we're working on, and hopefully down the road we'll be better at this. And it all just starts here, right? It started back then, or which would be now, where they're actually trying to implement certain things into their game, or they're working on areas of their game that they've been told to work on, and we're seeing some results now. And maybe we don't get to see those results in an actual NBA game until 2 years down the road, but at least we're seeing some results now, so that we can hopefully see these results actually come into a more important time later in their career. So again, I'm not here to I'm not here to say, oh my God, Julian Phillips is going to be part of the rotation next season. I'm not saying that. I hope he's part of the rotation next season, but I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's going to actually be the case or not. But I know at least he's working on these things, and I'm happy to see it already being implemented into his game early on. So yeah, just cool stuff in this game. So and again, we're not trying to be box score Andes here, but the box score is pretty impressive for both Phillips and Sonogo. And I'm happy to report back that, yeah, this was a good first game for the Bulls. And I don't care about the win or the loss at all. I just care about, hey, did the key players show me good positive signs? And the positive signs are there. I will not be talking too much about Sonogo or like breaking down his film, but just very briefly, because I didn't get a chance to necessarily like break down his film. Sonogo's ability to switch on defense is huge. Like, that to me is something that if he's able to continue to switch on defense like he showed today, like, he's going to have a future in this league at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, but a center that, yes, he is undersized, but it seems like he has a really good knack for the ball and understanding how to get the ball, even at his, him being undersized. And it seems like he rebounds over bigger players very well. A 6'9" center that can move like he does and has the ability to switch on defense, like, he has a future in this league. I'm not saying starter. I'm just saying that he'll have some sort of future in this league. And what he showed me today, where he's able to switch on the guards and not, be blown by, like, he's not going to stay in front of them like that effectively, but he's not getting blown by or look out of place. He's moving his feet well. That was very impressive today. And I hope that continues with him, to see those sort of different defensive coverages where he, maybe he's switching one possession, and then the next defensive possession he's blitzing the pick and roll, and then the next possession he's hedging and stuff like that. But the other part with Sonogo is, like, he just seemed like he understood in this sort of hectic summer league environment of where to be on the floor as a big man and not to clog up the rim or clog up the paint. He did a good job of setting good screens and then following into like the shot to the basket, but he didn't get in the guard's way whatsoever of trying to get to the basket. As we saw the Bucks a few times today, where they would run into each other. The Bulls kind of did that early on, but they kind of recovered from it. So that again is just stuff with Sonogo that I'm like, okay, he's under a 2-way contract this season. He's obviously going to be in the G League most of the year, but for a team that, this year, this season's going to be a year full of losses, I won't be shocked to see if Sonogo, especially if Vooch is moved, where he does get some significant playing time at some point in the season and be part of the rotation. I'm aware he had the 2020 game against the Wizards. I don't expect anything like that to be replicated, but it's just solid signs, right? So just big props to these guys. It's the first summer league game. There's a lot of adrenaline going on, and also you got guys trying to prove themselves. And I just thought that these guys did a really good job today. Last shout out is to Javonte Smart, because his 3-point shot looks smooth, and he at least should have caught the eyes of some scouts, I would say. So I hope that's something with Smart that maybe the Bulls signed him to a 2-way, because Andrew Funk, who was on a 2-way for the Bulls, I think, was playing also today. But maybe Javonte Smart's able to be signed to a 2-way, as the Bulls do have some 2-way spots open. But that's all I'm gonna have to say for this stream. So thank you guys for tuning in to just a little short post game summer league stream. I'm happy to stream today. I wasn't expecting to stream today, but I'm truly happy to stream today. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the like button on the stream. It helps me out a ton. And yeah, if your guys are willing to, check into a stream at like 11:30 p.m. tomorrow, as after the Bulls play their summer league game, which starts at 9 tomorrow, come tune in. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow, even though it's late at night. As you can see, the Bulls play at 10 Eastern or 9 p.m. Central. So yeah, I'll be here to do a post game stream after that game as well. So lot of stuff to talk about, obviously, and I hope you guys enjoyed a little breakdown that we did for Buzelis and Phillips, which is, again, don't take it too far. Take it with a grain of salt. Summer League is, for some people, not that interesting, but I just at least take some parts of this and I'm like, hey, this is cool, and I'm hoping that this can continue. So yeah, that's that. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it a lot. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.